Good morning YouTube. So this is my first video back from the Olympia prep into my off season. Today I'm going to show you how to be able to manage a social occasion while still being kind of with your goals. I would show you how to macro manage, adding in an off-plan meal, which I will do probably when I start doing that. That's the thing. For now, my off-plan meals are to actually bump up my calories a little bit, and to try and bump up my weight a little bit at times, just because obviously that's, my body's still very sensitive because I do stick very closely to my plan. That's what the off-plan meals are there for. So when I do start to macro manage them a little bit more, I will do an informative video on how exactly I do that, so that obviously we can show how to do that and how to be able to have a nice little bit of balance alongside still being able to stick to your goals. But today is about how I am not letting my friends down but still sticking to my goals. So basically, my best friend is getting married in February. She's having a hen do today. I will still be going. Will I be participating in the drinking and potentially the food that they may have? Absolutely not, no, because I don't want to. If you want to, crack on, absolutely fine, but I don't want to. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing basically to manage my day to ensure that I can still do that, which basically means I am having my pre-workout as my first meal and training after my first meal rather than the usual meal 3. And I'm just going to show you how I've managed my day to ensure that that can happen. Basically means up a little bit earlier, doing a little bit of meal prep nice and early, so that obviously it can be done for the day, so that I have much more free time this afternoon / this evening. Also made sure that I've done all my client replies, etc. I do have clients competing today. This hen do's obviously been booked in for quite some time because I did actually want to go. We did go to the MK and team trained by JP British finals with the two bros last weekend. Had a great successful weekend with regards to clients there. Both girls placing in the top 3 in their categories, and a really successful kind of in other areas as well. Had the pro show out in Hungary where Kerry came second. That's obviously a great achievement. She actually competes again this weekend. I do have a client in Singapore competing this weekend, and then 2 natural females at the Two Bros Naturals as well. So busy weekend alongside still having social time with my friends, not letting them down most importantly, and also adhering to my goals. Where am I? I am currently at 61 kilos. My body weight on stage was 59 kilos ish, well 59.8. Was it? Yeah, basically. Happy with how I looked, very happy with how I looked. Gained my feedback from head judge Sandy Williamson, where she mentioned that my lower was a little bit too lean. My upper body needs to downsize. My legs can come up a little bit to give a little bit more balance. But looking at the top girls, they like the delts to match their legs, but potentially not quite the bits in between. So what does that mean for me? It means that my training has to change a little bit, so that I'm doing a little bit less upper work or stuff that kind of build density. So pulls have gone, hinges have gone. They can come back in my retirement phase. That's absolutely fine, whenever that happens into the future. And not doing any upper back work, but doing lat work still. Lots of glutes, because they can definitely come up. Obviously lower body can be fuller, so we're obviously going to focus on giving them more frequency. And that's pretty much it. My upper body sessions are a little bit less kind of bodybuilder. I've now got front raises in there that I've not done since I was a bikini girl. So basically I'm training like a bikini girl, which is absolutely fine as long as it brings me the best look on stage, which ultimately right now, because I am a figure competitor, I need to bring what a figure competitor is, and that's the ultimate goal. So that's right now. I have goals in my mind of what I want to achieve before I do retire from bodybuilding. So I will ensure that I put everything into every single day to make sure that that can happen. Anyway, meal 1 is going to be my pre-workout. So I will show you that when we get home. Right, so you've just seen my meal one. My usual meal one for a upper body day is 75 grams of rice, 125 grams worth of chicken, 75 grams of mixed veg, 100 grams of pineapple. Maybe I'm not hardcore enough bodybuilder, but I'd rather not have chicken and rice for breakfast. So I swapped it so that I had egg whites instead of chicken, and then cream of rice instead of normal rice, which was lovely jubbly. I guess my version of carb cycling is that I have less carbs and foods on a rest day, less carbs and foods compared to a legs / glutes and back day on an upper body day. So today is my kind of lower training day calories. So my difference is I have an extra 5 grams of rice on my leg days, and then post workout I actually have an extra 20 grams worth of cream of rice, and that's pretty much the only change, and a slightly little bit more fats in the evening on a leg day as well. So that's pretty much the only calorie changes. Feel really great. Maybe the question is, why is the body weight not shifting so much? Even though you're obviously into an off season. Obviously, like, I don't need to build a lot of mass, so I can take my calories up slowly. There's not really like a need for an off season where I'm like trying to push my weight and my size. Obviously there's changes that need to happen to my physique, but they will happen even in kind of more of a steady build. And trying to keep my body composition good so that I can diet easier is just what works really well for me. But if you are trying to put on size, obviously you are going to have to do an off season where you push and probably feel a little bit uncomfortable towards the end. Will I feel uncomfortable towards the end? Probably. My body composition won't be the same, etc. And also another question that I get asked quite often is, so what are you going to do? Are you going to train different to make sure that you don't put on this size anymore, etc.? Obviously I mentioned this morning that there is going to be exercise selections or certain exercises that I don't do anymore. Also the use of things like PEDs in the off season has got no merit anymore. I don't need that, maybe towards the end of a competition prep. But that's pretty much one of the biggest differentiators that just won't be used. They've also come out post-show, which also obviously usually sees a little bit of a drop in body weight, which is probably why things haven't built up. But like, I'm okay post-show. I don't mind being a little bit hungry. I'm used to it from this year now anyway, but prior to that I was, at least for my 4 years prior to that, I was pretty decent in terms of my reverses from my show. I'm actually proud of that because I didn't start coaching until that happened. I do think that if you are someone who struggles with certain things, you probably shouldn't coach because you do pass those issues on to clients. And that's just my personal opinion. Whereas I never wanted to pass on any issues that I have to my clients. I'm happy to train how I need to train for my class. I'm happy to eat foods. I'm happy to be hungry. I will stick to plan regardless. And I think that someone who can stand and lead from the front is someone who can lead a team. Does that mean that sometimes there's certain things that aren't, am I human and do I feel things and whatnot? Yes, for sure. But I do think that the ability to action is the difference between kind of succeeding and not, and I think that's a good leader. So I didn't want to be a coach until I was able to do all those things and put them into practice. Otherwise I'd pass on issues to my clients, and I think it's good that I've learned things because I can actually share those experiences with my clients and help them feel better if they're going through things as well. But yeah, that is where I am. I'm gonna go and train now. Got the new kind of Train by JP clothing on. Use my code MEG10 to be able to get money off. I just had my pre-workout drink, the pumpage. It was in a shaker bottle that's not Train by JP, so I'm not gonna show you. But that was great. I don't have a lot of caffeine right now because I feel good with my food, so I'm gonna go and train and be back soon. first workout meal is my first and second meal, and then the rest of my meals I will just have them in the same order that they would usually be in, kind of 1 to 6. So nothing really changes, diet stays the same, just obviously going to have to take it in Tupperwares when I go and see my friend, because I won't be able to obviously have it warm and on a plate, which is absolutely fine. The session was really great. I was really happy with how all of that felt. I forgot to say before I had my session that my first meal also has 100 grams of pineapple. I also, in my usual first meal, so my bread meal that you'll see later, have 100 grams of blueberries. Because I was training earlier, Cooper said to distribute some blueberries in my first meal, just so that I can have a tiny little bit more carbs pre-workout, and then obviously have the remainder of the blueberries later when I do have my bread meal. But that was an awesome session. I felt really great. Managed to get some pictures. I was very lucky. The camera guy, Joe, who came with us to America, was in the gym when I had finished, so he actually managed to grab me a couple of pictures in the new Train by JP stuff so that we could post about it. So yeah, super duper happy. One of my friends is coming over to my house in a moment to be able to obviously go together to the hen do. I'm not too sure if he'll drink, but these guys are actually my diving friends, so people that I've known since I was 7, so a very long time. More time have I known them than not in my life, so they're like family. They understand even if they don't understand my bodybuilding. I've done it for a very long time. I mean, do I think that bodybuilding can be a little bit damaging to relationships? For sure, if they're not the type of people who want that in their life, definitely. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all. I think that you'll find the people who want to support you through anything and the people who potentially do not. And I'm very lucky that the people who are around me who potentially aren't even really to do with bodybuilding, I think I have maybe like 1 or 2 like friends that I've made through bodybuilding. I mean, I know people, but actual friends, 1 or 2 people, the rest of them are kind of non-bodybuilders, and they support me so much, and I couldn't appreciate it more and couldn't do what I do without their support. So I'm extremely grateful for that. So now the plan is go home, have my post-workout meal. I did take it with me to the gym because I knew that I'd be able to kind of literally just leave as soon as I get out of my session, because I'm not with Cuba. Whereas he likes to sit down and eat his post-workout meal there, etc. Whereas I know that it's kind of 20 minutes to home. Usually that's how long I wait between kind of finishing my session and having my post-workout meal. I will eat it there, so I'll show you what I'm having, and then we will go on with the rest of the day.
Yeah, about the other ones. I mean,
So that was my post-workout meal, which is 90 grams of cream of rice, 40 grams of whey, 100 grams of berries, which is lovely. I'm obviously going to take all of my meals out with me, which I'm going to show you now. And we're going to have a great time. Obviously, in my session, you saw me shaking some bottles. That was my intro workout. Carbs first in the big bottle. MPS, so EAAs in the second bottle. Hopefully chocolate.
Right, sweet.
So, today is a new day. I obviously didn't film too much whilst I was there, just because obviously I wanted to enjoy time with my friends, but as you could see, they were all my meals that got eaten at the right times. I actually forgot to film my last meal, which is, I had it when I got home at like 8 o'clock, which is a normal time for me. I always made sure that I am back home ready for the bedtime, because that's just what I like to do. But that meal was 50 grams of oats and 30 grams of cream and rice, 10 grams of dark chocolate, 150 grams of berries, 200 grams of yogurt, and that's it. And it's lovely jubbly. Probably in another video I'll just get a clip of that so that you can see it. Anyway, hopefully you took a lot from this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm going to be back, do more educational stuff, as well as obviously just showing you my day-to-day life, which is super important because ultimately it's important that you take something from the videos and not just it being a ramble. I think anyway. But we've got a busy day today. We've got Kerry competing in Alicante. My clients yesterday, the guy Rish in the Philippines had won his class, and then also second in another class. We also had Monica, who won her class at the Two Rose Naturals, closely missing out on the overall. Rachida, who literally did incredible. She used to be a very overweight girl who got on stage for the first time, and she looks phenomenal. It'll be nice now to get her into an off season and get some real good muscle mass built so that we can get on stage and we can aim to be super competitive. She won a class but nobody was actually in it, so obviously you never knew. And then we didn't place in the novice where there was other people there. So looking forward to the off season with her. It's going to be a wonderful day, and it's a rest day for me now until obviously tomorrow when we go back in with legs. Anyway, hope everybody enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you again for another video.